Hello and welcome to the TRC main show of the Rag Company's podcast. And here with me, Dane, I've got Anthony and Levi, who you may be familiar with.
Hey guys!
What's going on, guys?
All right, so what I thought might be good for this, first episode, the podcast here, get introductions, background on you guys.
Well, I think first thing we introduce is that we wanted to do a podcast.
That is true.
Yeah.
That's very important. Yeah.
We've gotten a lot of customers and followers on our Facebook channel, or on our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, all that stuff that keep saying, man, if it was a podcast, could we
Listen
just
to it.
listen
Yeah,
to it while we work?
Listen to it at work.
Wasting time staring at your phone and watching the video or forgetting to watch it. And so we thought, we'd start taking old episodes of Detox.
Yep, I was doing that
maybe
yesterday.
you haven't seen yet, or maybe you never got around to, or they're good to revisit because there's a lot of useful information on there. So we thought we'd take those, put them into audio format so that you guys could listen to them, enjoy them while you're working, searching for French fries in people's cars, or maybe you're just sitting there polishing some paint, or maybe you're running, or you're riding your bike, or something fun like that.
Maybe you're just thinking about detailing and you're not actually doing it.
Yeah,
That's
maybe
okay,
you're driving,
too.
maybe you're delivering
We
cars.
don't care where you're at as long as you're listening to us. Then yeah.
So that's the first step. So this is what we're doing. We've created this podcast. We're going to start as people come to the studio to shoot Detox. We're basically going to do the same thing where we'll sit down, maybe shoot a podcast, do a podcast with them.
And it'll be separate from the video.
And it'll be separate from the video, so it just provides more content. Maybe, we thought about it when Dylan was here. There was a couple hours during the day where we just sat in my office, the four of us, and we all just kind of BS'd. And
if you could be a fly on the wall.
And if you could be a fly on the wall, and that was kind of one of the ideas was, we are a working warehouse, so when people come visit and we're shooting in our studio, we do have to kind of inconvenience John, the operations manager, and his team.
He's understanding, but every once in a while, stuff's got to get done. And you know what? At a business, the business has got to come first.
Yeah. So we thought, hey, on those downtimes, this would be a great opportunity to be able to shoot the podcast, do that for you guys, because we literally do just sit and talk all day. About industry stuff, detailing stuff whenever we get somebody in, whether it's Ivan and Dan, or like we said, when Dylan was here or David was here. We've got some future guests coming that are going to be pretty awesome. So that'll be fun to get on. We've got a lot of downtime in certain scenes where we can just start recording and just, maybe make it so same fly on a wall kind of thing.
Yeah, this podcast really frees us up to do a lot more stuff. I'm really excited for wherever it ends up going.
Yeah. So to that extent, introductions. Da-da-da-da.
Oh, right before that. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. But I'm just thinking, because it's the podcast, we should say we're going to try and make it a mission to give you guys one of these types of podcasts every single week. As far as the Detox Classics that I was doing, I'll kind of just turn those out as time goes on just to kind of keep things lively. Yep. But I'll make sure that we have one of these little powwows every week to share with you guys, just so you kind of feel like you're abreast of the situation, whatever's going on.
Yeah, keep you current and know what we're doing and what's going on, and
comes out faster than videos. We've got about 70 videos on backlog right now. There are so many Detox you haven't seen yet that are just waiting to come out.
Yeah, and we know how you guys like to binge. So if you're like me, I binge podcasts. So on the trips that I've been on, it's been what I've done. So
true. All right.
Anyway, so
introductions.
Back to introductions. So again, guys, Levi Gates. I am the business development manager here at the Rag Company. What that means is I'm in charge of all international and national sales or new customers, distributors, things like that. I also have been a detailer for 20 years. I'm IDA certified and skills validated. Currently, as we are recording this, getting ready to put in my paperwork for registered trainer. I've been detailing here locally in Boise, Idaho for 20 years. I've managed a number of different shops, and about 5 years ago started Hawks Detail. And that was when we first started shooting Detox. We were actually shooting them in my shop, and a lot of the details with Levi's series with Yvonne were all filmed inside Hawks Detail. And now that we've moved into the new studio, that's what we're doing. So Matt Ward took over my shop, and I came over here January 2nd, full time. So this is what I do now.
You were right on it, right in the new year.
Yeah. So it was good. It made a good transition to start fully with the rag company. You know, I've been working with them for about the last 18 months, doing kind of a part-time basis with them, answering emails and being a rep on Facebook and social media for you guys. So it just made the right sense. Plus, I'm getting to that age where I can't detail every day anymore. So to those of you that are my age in your late 30s, early 40s that are just now getting into detailing, I commend you. Because I've been doing it since I was 17 years old, and it's finally catching up to me. So, anyway, so that's me. So,
well, and I mean, I could talk about myself for a second here,
because nobody knows who you are.
Nobody knows who I am. I just wanted to get in real quick because you had kind of a fun story about how you found us in the first place. I know some people have heard it, but these guys might not have. So,
so
how did you find the rag
Well,
company?
The one thing is we live in the same city. So that's fun. I was doing my research trying to figure out to find some nice high-end microfiber because that was something that I wanted to introduce into my business. And this was about 2 years ago. And I started looking at a large supplier that I could probably set up a wholesale account with or something like that to fill my shop with towels. So I looked at I looked at Microfiber Tech and Microfiber Madness and the Rag Company came up, and when I typed in the rag company in Google to get their website and stuff, the first thing that popped up was a map to the location, which happened to be Boise, Idaho, and it was to Jeff and Carolyn, the owners of the rag company. It was their house address.
I was working in their garage.
Yeah, and so I was like, wow, wait a minute, hold on a second, that doesn't make sense. So then I went to their Facebook page and started looking through photos, and there was a picture of a sticker, a rag company sticker on Dane's little element that you had. Yeah. And it was the backdrop. He had taken a picture of it in the background of the Boise skyline.
I'm still surprised you recognized that.
Me being a local boy and kind of a nerd about my city, I was very excited to see that. And I wrote them an email and asked if I could swing by, wanted to know where they were located, and see if I could just stick my hands in towels. That's literally what I wrote in the email to your dad. He said, sure, we just moved out of our garage and into a storefront. Come on down. So me and my guys went over there, and we spent 3 hours meeting with Jeff and Dane and the whole gang, and we were learning about towels and doing all that stuff. And then I walked out of there with about $300 worth of towels 3 hours later, and we were like, me and my guys got in the car, and we were like, that was the most fun we've ever had. That was amazing.
We learned about towels.
Who knew so much about microfiber? We didn't. And so we were totally blown away. But then we both looked at each other, all of us, the three of us that were in the car, looked at each other and were like, oh crap, we've only got like 2 hours left and we've got like 3 cars to finish when we get back to the shop. So it was a hustle. When we got back, my younger brother was working for me, and he had been delivering cars, and he came back, and he was like, geez, where'd you guys go? I went to lunch and came back, and no one was here, so I started working on this, and I was like, oh my gosh, dude, we went to the rag company. They're a microfiber distributor. They're located here in Boise. They're literally 2 miles away down the street from us. Oh man, that was so much fun, so awesome. And then he goes, oh yeah, the Hennens? Yeah, I went to high school with Dane. I've known them for a long time. I thought I told you about them. And I was like, no, you didn't. You did not tell me about this. You've worked for me for over a year, and you did not tell me that you knew somebody that sold premium microfiber that could be used. You use towels.
Small oversight.
You use the same towel every day. You didn't once think, oh, my buddy Dane has these towels. I could just let me tell my brother about them. So, needless to say, the next day, I think we were going to lunch, and Matt remarked to my brother Seth and said the same thing, like, so Seth, do you have any other friends that you know of
that we should know about
that are in the detailing industry? And my brother was like, oh nope, that's the only one, sorry. But so that was the funny story, was that my brother knew about it the whole time and never opened his mouth until we got back.
Well, I'm glad you found us anyway.
I am too.
Yeah,
it's worked out really well.
Just had to get that story out because it's fun. Anyway, I'm Dane Hennen, and I am the son of Jeff and Carolyn Hennen, who are the owners of the rag company. Now, of course, immediately what comes to mind is, the son of the owners.
Hey, nepotism!
Yeah, nepotism. Oh, but I'll tell you right now, I seriously, I've earned my position. I've worked hard. I was the first employee. I gave up a job where I had full-time and benefits and everything, and I gave that up to go start working in a dark garage.
Unheated garage.
Unheated garage. It was cold, and we started in the winter. So, Yeah, that was exciting. So definitely, I was designing the website. I was packing shipping orders, doing all that stuff, just on my lonesome there for a good while there. But it was interesting, and I like the whole business side of things. And I'm honestly, when it comes to business savvy, I'm probably that's somewhere further down the list for me. I'm an artistic type, so I like the way things look. It's all about aesthetics to me, and I wanted an excuse to design some stuff.
Yeah, and what did you do for school?
Well, I went to video class in high school and did all that stuff here locally at Capitol High in Boise, and definitely got a good education there. But then after a year of regular college, quotes, I went down to Ventura and actually went to an institute down there for film studies and everything. So I actually got into film school, and then I realized, wow, Southern California is really expensive to live here, even if it's nice and by the ocean. And I moved back. But I did have quite a bit of a skill set going in that I just didn't know I was going to be able to use a few years down the line, because now I'm making all our YouTube videos.
Yep.
I'm doing our photography, and now I've got help from Anthony, who you'll hear from in a minute. But I was doing that by myself in addition to some of these other things for a while, answering phone calls, emails. If you speak to the Rag Company online, say like on Reddit as user of the Rag Company, especially on the auto detailing subreddit, or you're on Facebook or anything like that, chances are if you're talking to the Rag Company, it's me.
Yep.
So just know that going forward, whatever
Yeah,
opinion
and if
that
you're talking
paints
on Instagram, you're most likely talking to Anthony.
Yes. Yeah, we've given Instagram to Anthony because
and then
he's
anybody
good at that.
personal messages me or hits me up on Facebook under my own name.
Yeah, if you're
or
looking-
Anthony or Dane, all three of us, you'll see we're all on Facebook.
Yep.
But as to the actual Instagram handles, Rag Company is Anthony, and then Dane is Reddit, Rag Company.
Yeah, and I made some Reddit usernames for Anthony and Levi. It's a little sporadic here and there, but they're on there from time to time.
We do. I get so bombarded with Facebook that it's...
And truthfully,
most of my time.
I did not use Reddit before I started doing the Rag Company thing. So thanks to doing that, it actually got me into Reddit, and I go on there all the time now. But anyway, so that's a fun little peek into the world. But,
so Dane, what is your title?
Okay, so I am the creative director of the media production department, which is a fancy title that just means you got a lot of things on your plate.
So Dane does not do the website anymore.
No. I designed our first website.
Yep. And the logo.
One after. Yeah, and I made the logo. So if you like the logo, thank you very much. At any rate, I think that's enough about me. I don't want to, wax poetic here. So why don't we go over to Anthony, who's been very quiet and busy on Instagram. Actually, he's been working this whole time.
Look at him.
All right, Anthony, you're up.
All right, my time to shine.
Here comes Cooper.
We have a
Yep,
dog.
here comes Cooper, and
we have a
my
shop
mom
dog
just
here,
walked in.
and
Yep.
so
We're-
we are recording. Yes.
Yeah, we're recording. We're in the conference room
And
here, so
the
there's
boss of the
gonna
Rag
be
Company just walked in.
Yeah, I guess to me, my name's Anthony. I am the
Anthony Fisher.
I guess as far as like
you can't hide Anthony.
I guess the title. I guess social media specialist, social media development. Think something along the lines of that. Well,
I'll call you co-director because you do a lot too.
Yeah.
I say he's an assistant co-director to the.
So
yeah, Dwight.
me and Dane just we do a lot of the same things, but we're just I guess we're touching a different part of the plate at every part of the day. So no, I guess trailing back to the beginning, I was actually a customer of the Rag Company several years ago. I was actually one of the first customers to ever walk into their first physical store after they got out of the garage.
First.
Like the very first. And it was the first day they'd actually opened up because I'd walked in and everything was in boxes on the floors. And I asked them, I'm like, is this a store? Can I buy things? And they laughed and they're like, of course. So like we're fishing things out of cardboard boxes so I could I guess get my order all set up. But no, I ended up buying several microfiber towels here because I thought that was just what a cool thing that I was able to buy microfiber towels locally that wasn't in like a big box store. So I ended up buying some towels. They were awesome, and from that point on, I kind of just become a loyal customer to where all of my towels and detailing products I came to the Rag Company for. Fast forward to this last winter. I went from working at a very big corporate company, doing a lot of promotional sales and marketing for them, and then transitioning to this job here at the rag company, which was funny because I mean, I always told myself that if I could work for any company, other than the one I was currently with, that I wanted to work for this one. And
thanks, buddy.
And so the opportunity presented itself, and I actually came on technically as a part-time employee. And after a week,
he was part-time for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, after about a week, I soonly transitioned to a full-time position, and it was just a really cool experience. I mean, everything I was able to do right off the bat. I mean, I was used to sitting at a desk for 8 hours a day, clicking through Excel sheets and going over marketing strategies to writing forklifts or driving forklifts, setting up shop lighting, making YouTube videos, making Instagram. Like, it was such just a huge melting pot of things, and I loved it because I'm a person that likes to do something different. So
we're a big small company.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's a weird hybrid when you have worldwide reach, but then you're still a family-run business.
Well, Anthony and I put away the Optimum order. So we got dropped off on a truck yesterday. We cracked open that pallet, and we put everything away. You know, so even though we seem like we have fancy desk jobs, we still all have to help out and do stuff.
Everybody helps.
Exactly. Yeah. No, and so, I mean, really, it kind of came down to me, I mean, really just loving the company. But, I mean, besides that, though, as far as, like, my hobbies go, I am probably the most, I'd probably say I'm probably the most obsessive person here, probably even more than Levi, because I tell people I have issues when it comes to car detailing. Yeah. When people ask me how OCD I am, I tell them I can't sleep at night sometimes.
If you guys aren't familiar with Obsessed Garage, he definitely fits the mold.
I kind of fit more of that mold. Maybe not to that extreme, but I mean, it's still pretty bad to where I like caring for my cars and my motorcycles and things like that, because I look at everything as an investment, and I do like getting complimented on how clean I keep my vehicles. I mean, they may not be the most expensive or the most modified, but when people see them, they can't help but see that they are extremely clean and the paint looks pristine. So
you have the nicest Evo I've seen.
And not to mention, actually a very well used motorcycle.
Yeah, and it still looks new,
brand new.
It's amazing.
It's insane.
I use my vehicles, but I kind of just I keep up with the maintenance, and I keep up with caring for them. I think it really shows, especially if you're looking at it as an investment, which I do, but I also look at it as a fun toy. So no, I'm really into detailing. I'm more of a hobbyist. I do side jobs every once in a while, and I'll kind of do things out of my garage. I have good lighting, and of course all the right tools and all the right products, and of course the best microfiber towels in the world to use and at my disposal. But I definitely consider myself a hobbyist, but that's kind of where I play this role into this awesome position, to where not only do I get to do fun things like do Instagram and make YouTube videos, host YouTube videos, but also I get to talk to people about something that I actually enjoy doing.
You help a lot of customers, like Levi does.
Yeah. I guess me and Levi we're kind of the go-to people here when it comes to like knowledge and helping people with their projects, and kind of giving them some good information on detailing. And so we do have a physical store here in Boise. It's very small, and it's kind of it's a convenience store for
it's the front of our warehouse.
Yeah, it's meant for being for a local convenience, and it is as nice as it does look. I mean, it still is a small store, and we get a few customers a day, anywhere from I've seen upwards of 10 customers a day to as low as 3 or 4, but sometimes
a lot more than it used to be.
But sometimes we'll still get a huge flux of people coming in, and we're slammed, and it's very surprising. But when people come in, they typically see our logo or see the word microfiber, and they're curious about it, or they've seen us at local car shows and want to come in and pick up products, and we're always super excited to get them set up with products and towels, because as everybody else mentions here, education is the biggest thing that we push.
Yep.
I mean, whether you're buying our products or not, just knowing what to use and how to use it and how to protect your investment. and how to, I guess, stay up with technology. I mean, kind of join the new world. So, but yeah, that's kind of where what I do. So if you do see Instagram posts, that is usually me. I do about half of the YouTube videos through editing. I do interact with people on Facebook and some of the other groups, and of course on Reddit and whatnot. But I would say me and Dane are kind of split right down the middle there on the creative side of things, and that's kind of I guess that's what we're good at.
Yeah, I mean, you're OCD about detailing, and I'm OCD about editing.
Oh yeah,
so.
yeah, he is.
I have a problem.
He can see colors in videos that I can't see, and so we definitely both pay attention to detail in a lot of different areas. But no,
it's all about the teamwork. Though.
Yeah, and we all the best. I guess the biggest part about all of us is we have such a cohesive group of people to where we're all on the same page and we all get along so well. I mean, we're all sarcastic. We all, laugh at the same jokes, and and it's really cool to feel comfortable. As comfortable you'd be at home as you are at work. I mean, I have no problem feeling if I need
a lot of that. Yeah. And a lot of that boils down to the bosses, Jeff and Carolyn Hennen. They really truly created that family atmosphere for us. So. We
and they're very thoughtful too. I mean, they came into the room here. You may not have even noticed.
Yeah, they both came in. They were
they're both in here,
scared and quiet as they walked to their offices. They tiptoed basically. Yeah. But yeah, so they allow us to do a lot of this, but they foster that. They enjoy. They both came from corporate America and owning a business where all of a sudden moved from their garage into. I mean, we're sitting on 15,000 square foot warehouse.
Yeah, we came a long way for sure.
So they've always had their ideas of what they wanted to run their business like.
Creative freedom.
Yep. Yeah. And they do a great job of that and letting us, voice our ideas or
like this right now.
This was another one yesterday.
I don't know any other towel companies doing this. Do you?
Not at the moment. So
there might be some though. Eventually, who knows?
Yeah. Well, and it's. We were going through, we're getting ready. We did a SEMA planning meeting yesterday and going through all the kind of stuff that we were going to do. And, it's fun to think about. This will be our first year at SEMA. So you have to come find us.
People have been asking us to go for a while.
But but it's the fact that we're finally, going to go. They're big enough that we've got, we're in 50 countries now.
And we love meeting face to face.
And everywhere we've gone, so this last 2 weeks, we've had a busy, basically the entire month of July was crazy with us. So we started off the month with having David Patterson from Lake Country come in and spending a few days with us where we shot a ton of detox episodes.
What an awesome guy, right?
Yeah, David's amazing. And, we talked all about pads, construction, and foam and microfiber and how that all works. And then we had him for the first part of the week, and then we capped it off with Rennie Doyle.
There was like no break in between. It was just guest to guest.
It was literally dropping David off at the airport Wednesday late afternoon and then Rennie there
here
first
comes
thing
Rennie,
in the morning on Thursday. So it was a busy week, and so we did that Thursday. We had Rennie on, and we shot a ton of videos. Because we only had him for a short time, but enough that we could get it all done, get as many videos as we could out with him.
Yep.
Just a superb gentleman and just an awesome guy to be able to work with and do that.
He really liked that twist and shout.
He did. And then you guys probably saw that on the live Facebook stuff. But then Friday morning, we headed up.
Correct, yeah.
So we drove up to Sun Valley, Idaho, which is a resort town.
It's not too far. It's a few hours.
Yeah, and Bruce Willis owns a house up there.
You see Schwarzenegger up there sometimes.
Yeah, Schwarzenegger owns a house up there.
Ran into Shaq one time.
It's the resort of the stars, basically. And so we went up there because there's a lot of money up there, and they do a thing called the Sun Valley Road Rally, where they cut off a stretch. How many miles of road?
It's like 3 or 4. It's a unique event, though. Nobody else is doing anything quite like that. I mean, you have like runway races in the South, like in Texas. They did Texas Mile and all that stuff. Yeah. But this is different because this is a public road, and the cops shut it down
in the mountains. And it's not a twisty; it's a straight. with maybe a slight curve.
The old course was on a slight downward slope, so the high speeds they got were kind of part of. They kind of came from that.
This was more level.
This is like level, although level relatively because it's actually a little bumpy at the beginning from the footage on board I saw. Man.
Yeah. So we all went up there for that, and we spent Friday morning doing tech with some local detailers as well that were up there washing cars. We went up with Lupo Motors, and who was one of the primary sponsors, and we got to see. That was fun. We hung out in the back parking lot of this dealership.
Yeah.
And there was, it was just insane amount of cars.
We met the couple that ran that dealership. They were really nice, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were the ones up at the starting line.
Yeah.
But there was some Ford GTs up there that the Ford family was actually
there were
running.
3 of them.
Bill Edsel Ford Jr. and Bill Ford III, and
they were all Ford family members
it was,
in some way or another.
It was pretty
so
wild.
Cool to see.
Yeah, so they were there. There was a ton of O'Gara coach.
O'Gara coach
from Beverly Hills was up there.
They brought a DB11, a Venador S, and my personal favorite, the V12 Zagato, because those are rare.
Yeah,
that was cool.
So we wandered around all day up there, and then I went home because I had a week of traveling to do. So I went home that afternoon. Drove
Levi's
back home.
got a lot to do.
So I will let these guys explain the rest of the weekend.
Okay, so Anthony and I continued to stay there, and we got a lot of footage. And obviously, if you checked a YouTube channel, you may have seen the little kind of quote-unquote pretty video that it made of it. But then we also did like a sound video, because some people just want to hear the cars, driving around, launching, and all that stuff.
And it's a 2-day event. So
yeah.
Friday night, what happened after I left?
Anthony? Yeah.
So after you left on Friday, we pretty much we got the rest. We got a ton of footage of just being in the pits and not the pits, being in the setup area, and it was really cool because there's a lot of detailers there that were on site for the event, getting all the cars prepped and everything, and so it was pretty cool to see everybody there and kind of meet everyone. But after that, there was essentially it was like a show, right? There was a car show.
Yeah, they had like a car show where they all set up, and then they kind of paraded over to another car show.
Yeah.
That got even bigger. Somehow they just started to just accumulate cars along the way. Somebody's driving a cool car, they look and go, I gotta be part of that. And they just show up, and then they had, it was kind of like when you go to like a small town carnival fair kind of atmosphere, because it was out in like a big field.
Oh, that's cool.
And the parking lot, it was really, it was nice. It was a cool setup, and they have vendors all around, so you can get,
And mind you, you're in a mountain town.
Yeah, you're in a mountain town. So you're looking around, the sun's going down, but it's behind a mountain, so it's already getting kind of dark.
Yeah.
But no, all those supercars around you though too.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of people. I mean, I would probably say that half of Sun Valley was there. I mean, like there was a lot of people that were just there for the show itself, because this is an event that people up there look forward to pretty much every year. It is a mountain town. It is more of a vacation town. But for the people that live there, I mean, I wouldn't say there's too many exciting things. Other than this, and
I think tourism is their lifeblood.
Yeah. So this event, is pretty big for them to be able to see these supercars and stuff like that. Which, I mean, even though there is famous people living up there and whatnot, I still don't think they'll see the cars that they see at this show.
But some unique stuff shows up every year.
It was a good night. We got a lot of cool footage, and we made a lot of connections. And the thing is with these events too is going there and networking is a huge thing for us. With still being a smaller company, we still like to go out and meet people and talk to people and be really face to face. And being able to show somebody our talent in person is always an exciting thing, because I mean, half the people have this idea of what microfiber is, and they compare it to what they see in stores, or they compare it to, I guess, Costco towels, for example, typical microfiber terry. So when we hand them something totally off the wall, like a Minx coral weave, or we hand them our Eagle Edgeless, they look at us and ask us if this is a microfiber towel, and we laugh and say, yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, and this is just 2 of 150 that we have, over 150 that we have.
It sounds funny to get excited over towels, but the truth is, like, if these weren't awesome towels, we wouldn't be excited about it. Like, if they were just like anything else, I don't think we'd be doing half the stuff we do. It's
Yeah.
because we really believe in what we have to offer and the relationships we make and everything. We're able to offer these awesome towels. It allows us to do this podcast and those videos and all this other stuff. It gave Levi a job here.
Yep.
It gave Anthony a job here. I have a job here. But it only works because the products really carry the whole thing. I mean, we could, speak till we're blue in the face, but until you try it, you probably won't really understand.
Yeah, and then Sunday morning.
Yep. Anyway.
So Sunday morning, we woke up, and that's where we woke up pretty
Or
early.
Saturday morning, sorry.
Or Saturday
No,
morning,
sorry.
yeah. We woke up.
It was starting to feel like Sunday.
Yeah, Saturday morning, we all woke up early, got up, and I think we actually went straight to the event. So we loaded up all the camera equipment and everything, and went. Basically, it was held in this field. It was like a grazing field for cattle or something like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of what it
set
felt
up a
like.
giant tent and chairs.
They had
Because they're like driving really fast down a farm road
Down a
that's
farm
closed
road,
off. So you
yeah.
have all these little like dirt roads that go off of it to like farmers' properties and stuff.
Yeah.
And I guess one farmer gave up their land for the day or two to actually have them set up tents and put the grandstands in. Like, it's a nice operation
set it
they
up.
put together. It really is.
Yeah, no, but there was tents, and so it was nice. We grabbed some breakfast burritos and coffee, and the event actually started. But the one thing we noticed is that since it was under new management this year, it wasn't as coordinated as probably people would have liked. They did have all the seating and everything else like that was really nice, but when the event started and the cars actually started driving down the road, there wasn't really any heads up on which car was driving or which car we could expect next. So
there was a little confusion on that.
Me and Dane had this. It was a really it was a really cool opportunity. I overheard somebody talking about a bus taking a couple of volunteers to the pits for the event, and I overheard him and I asked, is there any way that some media people would be able to get on that bus and drive down to the pit itself? And they were kind of confused. They weren't really sure, but I kind of took that as our go.
You don't ask for permission. You beg for forgiveness.
Yeah.
So you just go, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna ride this bus, and they go, okay.
So I see a couple people loading up in this bus, and I go and grab Dane. I'm like, Dane, now grab everything you see, grab the bags, grab the cameras. We're leaving right now. And
we had been filming the cars crossing what we call the finish line, but they're still going really fast. It's the point they cross where it has the timer and it captures how fast they were going, and that's the number they use for the records they keep.
Yeah,
but they kind of far away from the course.
It
though.
was
I mean, it's like
super
300
far.
or 400 feet.
And
So.
we didn't bring a camera, like a lens that had enough zoom to really capture everything perfectly.
Yeah, I
so
thought it'd be enough.
I grabbed Dane. I'm like, Dane, grab everything. We're going. No questions. Just grab it.
Get
And
on the bus.
We literally were like grabbing water bottles, chucking them into our bag. Like, everything's falling out of our hands. We run over into this bus. And
they had their Rupes lawn chairs with them.
Yeah.
Came in
Thanks,
handy.
Dylan.
Which we were sitting on Rupes lawn chair. So we grabbed everything, jumped on this bus, and they brought us to this pit section, and they looked at us and asked us, what we were doing there, and we kind of were. I didn't really know what to say. I'm like, we're just here to take pictures in the pit of the car. Little did they know that right when the doors opened, we were going to be making a sprint for the starting line to start filming things.
Just made a beeline.
And so we grabbed all of our gear, and it was really cool because basically if we wouldn't have taken that opportunity to jump on a bus and get to the starting line, that would have never happened.
There were no other
transits
after that.
There was
that
no
was
other
it.
buses. That was our once in a lifetime
they
opportunity.
shuttle everybody there
and
back. So you can't just drive up in your car and then because they close the road.
No.
So they control what goes down and what comes back.
They rotate the volunteers. That's why they had the bus go in there, is because they had to rotate their volunteers. Because people get tired of standing in the same place forever.
Yeah.
And not a lot's going on.
Yeah.
But as we saw, if you cross over that line and you just drive onto the course when they're trying to do their thing, like a farmer or somebody drove by in his Dodge Ram, just like right by the line, looking right at everybody and didn't care. He just drove on there. And the guy got on the radio and was like, "Arrest that guy." That's how serious they take it.
It was a I guess it was a police enforced thing. I mean, it was a law enforced event. So But no,
and the law enforcement actually helped sponsor it because it's one of their largest fundraisers.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's put on by the Blaine County Drug Coalition, and then the officers all help coordinate.
So anyways, we got a ton of video. I mean, we got a ton of video. We saw a bunch of cool cars. We met a bunch of awesome people. Me and Dane were out there in the sun for 8 hours, and
you got a monster sunburn.
I got a pretty bad sunburn, but we were out there for forever, and I mean, pretty much far past when the event ended. And then after that, we really had no way of getting back to where we parked, so we actually had to hitch a ride with somebody. I mean, we did it like totally Idaho, and we like jumped in the back of a truck with a bunch of other random people, and they took us off-roading. I'm talking, we went through puddles. We went like
puddles. That thing was like 3 feet deep. We went through, I got water in my butt going through. I was sitting on the ground in the truck bed, and you're sitting up there on the ledge, and all of a sudden it gets real cold, and I look down. There's water in the bed.
So we went like off-roading to get back to our car. But if you guys haven't seen the Sun Valley video or any of the footage, definitely check that out on our YouTube channel. I think it's under Sun Valley Road Rally 2017. Yeah. And then we have the sound, like the sights and sounds of the event, which is a lot of the cars, engine sounds, and
you want to hear that Murcielago at full tilt.
So yeah, it was. So we have those videos up. Make sure you check those out. Those are still kind of starting to build views more and more. It's just it's kind of one of those
the
things.
Pretty videos, let's be honest, they don't tend to get a lot of views up front. It's people find them over time. They'll go back
but they're done well, and you got some cool sounds and some neat cars that you get to see. And
everybody wants videos with Levi. We got to make more videos with Levi doing work
things.
in the
Levi doing things.
Yeah, Levi doing things. Details with Levi? No, Levi doing things.
Making sandwiches. Levi,
we could do that.
So so that's kind of where we were on that video, and that was a lot of fun. But that was just the start of a very hectic week. So Dane can kind of touch up on the next chapter in our week.
Oh, you know what? Actually, let's go ahead and take a break just for the sake of the memory on the recorder here, and then we'll pick up again in just a second. And we're back. All right. So if I remember correctly, where we left off, we were just finishing up with talking about Sun Valley, and we're moving into Air Force One territory, heading to Seattle.
Yep.
So once these guys are done eating their sandwiches, sorry, you didn't notice, but there was
like
a whole lunch break.
We had to have
there.
lunch.
Yeah.
So start off Sunday night. We arrived home from Sun Valley, and then what time did we leave Monday morning for Seattle?
Oh man, we left. So we left around I think it was around 5 a.m. I think, but you had.
You'd already been up for an hour.
I had been up. I got up at 3:30, and I packed up. I'm one of those guys that likes to pack in the morning, the day of, because if I pack the night before, I forget things. I have to be in the mindset that I'm traveling. So
I'm a procrastinator too.
Yeah, Dane actually picked me up. We actually drove to Seattle. That was the plan. So we road tripped.
I rode with Jeff in the Escalade.
Yeah. So they rode together, and then me and Dane rode together, mainly for the fact that we had an Escalade full of towels. I mean, completely packed to the top. So we jumped on the road. We stopped at a couple different places. We grabbed a burger. What was that place?
We hit McDonald's in Baker City, which is about an hour, about 2 hours outside of Boise. So we stopped there for breakfast. It was about 6 a.m., 7 a.m. or so. Yeah. And then we headed to Yakima. And we ate at
Miners
in Yakima.
Got yourself a Miner burger.
If you ever go to Yakima, go to Miners. That's kind of what we're recommending.
For $12, we all got burgers the size of our faces.
That's not an exaggeration.
Quite possibly the largest order of fries I think I've ever seen in my life. Each.
One order covers 3 people. It's nuts.
No, I was almost upset being in there and looking around and seeing basically everybody's ordering the same thing. And I'm seeing 12-year-old kids ordering this burger that I had a hard time finishing. I'm like, how dare you out-eat me? Looking at these kids these attractive girls. I'm looking around what is happening inside this place? But no, it was awesome food. So we ended up leaving from there, and I think the next stop was Seattle.
And we got in probably right about 2:33.
Yeah, it was like early afternoon.
We headed straight to the museum and got greeted by everybody and unloaded the truck. Rennie Doyle actually, when he was here, took a bunch of the towels with him in his truck.
He just didn't take all of them.
He just didn't take all of them, so we loaded the rest up. Now, we do have a double axle trailer, but we should have planned it better. And
hey, that's life, you know?
Yeah.
But we didn't, so we just loaded up the Escalade and Dane's little C-Max, and we made it down there, and super amazing group of guys, 64 detailers from around the country, the Detail Mafia. Basically, the way to get in, and if you ever are interested in that project or anything like that, you want to contact Rennie Doyle and sign up for his class. He does training classes there in Big Bear, and that is the way in. So if you are interested in, if maybe you saw the project or you follow it on Facebook, Rennie handpicks his team based on guys that he's worked with, those that have taken the class and been at his shop for a week and worked with him. And that's kind of how he vets them. It's basically like an interview, so to speak.
And it's not the same team every year,
and
is
it's not, no. But it is
changes it up.
But it's all pulled from the Detail Mafia. So the Detail Mafia is all the guys that he's trained over the years, and they're all experienced detailers. So whether you're like me and you've done it for 20 years, the first time you're there, you're an apprentice in that team. And the more that you participate in projects and training and all that stuff, you rise through the ranks. So some of the guys there were what they called squad leaders. They were what they call in their group master detailers. Now, Rennie doesn't control this group. This group has become its own entity. It's got its own board of directors. It's got its own presidency. And they're voted in by all the members. So the Detail Mafia becomes its own group. And it just becomes a project that the Detail Mafia handles. That and the McCall Executive Detailing Team, which works at Monterey. And they pull a select group out of that for that team.
Just a few nice cars there, huh?
Yeah, so pretty neat group of guys, though. But this year they had a lot of new fresh faces, a lot of young up-and-coming detailers. So it was fun to see some of those guys, a lot of guys that I've followed for the last 5 or 6 years. It was their first time too, there at the Air Force One project. But we did not only Air Force One, they did the Concorde.
Yeah, they did a ton of planes.
They did the
B-29.
B-29 bomber. They did.
There's a B-17 over there too, wasn't there?
And then they did a 747, a Dreamliner. So there's 18 planes that they were going to wash and protect. But Air Force One and the Concorde and the bomber were the ones that got the brunt of the work.
Well, that bomber was just like solid aluminum, right? It was just...
Yeah, and it got polished last year, but it didn't have its wings on it.
Okay.
And so they had to repolish it and do the wings. And this year was the second year of it having the canopy over all of these planes outside. So they were really excited because this year it was just... a lot of those planes that they had corrected was clean and protecting, because previous years past, those planes are completely open and exposed to the elements sitting on asphalt.
And you're sitting in Seattle, so you got a lot of weather
day,
coming
just about.
through.
I mean, 200 days of rain or more. And
just
so
a bit.
They were excited this year because this year was the second year. Their first year they went in, planes had just come in, and they cleaned and protected them, and then they got to sit for an entire year under that canopy. So they were excited to see how the planes held up, what their process was going to be. So there was a lot less work and a lot more comfortable, because it ended up creating a pressure cell underneath there where it allowed a breeze to continually go through the building.
It's huge, though, and it's a canopy. There's no walls,
and they
it's
said
just this really big.
It's about
sunshade.
3 acres, 3.5 acres.
Yeah,
is
that's
what they said
massive.
that roof is.
It's like 2 Costco's in there.
Yeah,
it's pretty insane.
Massive.
So if you ever find yourself in Seattle and you're bored, and I mean, there's a lot to do in Seattle, but check out the Museum of Flight, because it's seriously a pretty awesome experience. We ran through part of it.
Yeah, we literally did like a
a
200% speed run through that thing.
We did.
But we got to see a lot, and they have some cool stuff.
Yeah.
And they got a Blackbird. Where
Yeah.
else are you going to see
Yeah, and
SR-71?
they have a capsule that landed, like one of the return capsules from space.
Capsule. They had like a Soyuz and all this other stuff. So cool.
It's pretty rad.
It was also, I mean, they all had a lot of interactive things in the museum
Yeah.
too, which I'm all about that because I like history and I like museums, but if I'm just standing in front of a plaque reading that all day long, I'm gonna get bored. But they had some things where you could like hands-on touch things, and they had little like rides there, so you can actually they had little like fighter jet simulators. So you would sit in the simulator and it would spin and go upside down, and it would like jolt you all around. It was a really, really cool thing.
And for kids too. They had a ton of
kids,
little kids stuff too. So if you have first graders or whatever, they have stuff for them, and then they have stuff for
adults.
It's definitely
adults like
all
Anthony
ages.
that want to get a little crazy with the things. But they have a good way of setting up the museum too, where when you go into buildings where like World War I and World War II stuff, they've got planes hanging from the ceiling and planes on the ground.
When you first walk into that indoor, like that kind of atrium style place where it's just glass ceiling and walls and all that stuff, that place lights up during the day, and it looks so cool seeing all those planes hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah,
like
in the
that.
main hall there. Yeah,
I've been to some other museums, but that one, it really gets you when you walk in. Just the size
of
and
everything,
the scope of it. Yeah.
So
nice.
That was cool, and like I said, the whole team was really awesome. Basically, we started Monday morning, driving. Monday afternoon, we were on site. We just kind of toured with Rennie and said hi to some of our fellow friends and followers of our channel and detailers that we like. And so we said hi and hello and everything. And then they finished out the day, and Rennie, gives a little talk, and his crew chiefs give a talk about, great job today, guys, but here's what we're, so-and-so needs to do this. We need to get this done. We're following, we're looking around. So they really do run it. They check on stuff. It is 65 guys detailing a bunch of different planes.
It's not a bunch of guys showboating. They're actually going back and checking the work, and if you don't do it right, you go back and you fix it.
Yeah, and they're checking it over, and they're like, hey, you guys are missing this, or you're not wiping compound off, or... So pretty neat setup. They really run it very tight. And then we all went back to the hotel, changed our clothes, and got our rooms. For those of you that are wondering, Anthony and I shared a room together, and Dane and his dad shared a room together. So,
they need to know that.
Yeah,
in case you were wondering.
I feel like
important information.
I usually, when I travel with Jeff, so I get to share a room with him all the time. So thought it'd be nice that Dane and his dad
this is
had
a
some
peek
father-son
behind the curtain,
time.
guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Real life.
But we got back to our hotel. We kind of changed and got ready, and then we all went and had dinner with the Detail Mafia at Claim Jumpers. And
holy cow!
They had set it up for 75 people to come in and have dinner, and so we got on one of the buses or one of their little transporters and made it over there. And we the rule was we couldn't sit together. So each of us, from the rag company, the four of us, each had to sit at a different table.
No clicks allowed.
Yeah, so that we were forced to converse. And the same thing for the Detail Mafia guys. They had to sit with guys that they hadn't sat with before. And then also no phones allowed at the table.
What happens to the guys if they pull out a phone?
If you pull out your phone, you're paying for everybody's dinner. So you're paying for
not want to
everybody.
pay for
all
75 people's dinner.
So it forces you to communicate. It forces you to interact with the person, and engage and create a bond.
Yeah.
Because so many of us have gone to dinner and we just sit and one of us will get on our phone.
Sure, it's so
two
easy
others are talking. And when you're sitting at a table, they broke it up into a bunch of different tables. So I had a table of, I think there was...
It's like 4 or 6.
6 or 7.
Okay.
6 at my table. I think you had 6 at yours. Yeah. You probably had 4 or 5 at yours.
Yeah, 5.
And then Jeff had some, and then there was another table that had probably 10 or 12, and another table in the back. So... but it was we were able to just go around and start interviewing and talking to each other and, basically getting to know each other, which was actually a fun, probably one of the funnest parts of the trip for me.
Yeah, like you say, like
was-
y'all got forced apart and you had to sit with people you didn't know. But really, I mean, it was a good experience. It was a good thing. It got you in front of people you may not have otherwise had a chance to meet,
Yep.
and had some great conversations and, networking and all that stuff. It's just good to get in touch with people.
Yeah, and Anthony got to sit across from a guy that he absolutely just fell in love with, Jamie Buchanan.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jamie
yeah.
was awesome.
Yeah, no, Jamie's an awesome guy. Jamie, if you're listening to this, man, you are awesome. You were probably the highlight of people I met on that trip. But no, yeah, I mean, I think that whole dinner was a good opportunity to, to sit and make friends, network, and things like that. But I mean, my table kind of turned into a rag consultation. I mean, which is fun. I mean, I love talking about microfiber, and so and then it was kind of cool seeing how many people had questions about it and how many detailers. I mean, these are some of the top detailers in the world, and yet they know a lot about microfiber, but they still have a lot of questions and they still are curious about different types. And I was happy to be able to help them out. But I think that dinner was a really good opportunity to do that, and then. After we left there, back to the hotel, and the next morning we were back at it. I mean, I think the whole trip we
were back at the hotel by, 10:30, 11.
And up at 6.
And then up at 6,
Yeah.
and at the Museum of Flight by 7:30, so we could be ready to go with the group. And Saturday we just spent the day. No, that wasn't Saturday. That was Tuesday. Sorry.
It's easy to get your day. They all blend
It was
together.
a very long week.
You do this many trips, and it really starts to just
Tuesday
bleed into
Tuesday was
each
our
other.
full day.
Yeah.
That was when
Yeah.
we were there from 7 a.m. to like 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
of constant filming, of constant
We shot
talking.
a ton of footage.
Oh man! I am struggling to put it all together into a video right now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. It
a
should
lot
be
of
good.
detox. We
Yeah.
sat down with a lot of the different guys.
You probably watched a few already.
Yep,
Yeah.
we got a couple out already, and we sat down with them and just spent the day literally chatting with them. And then that was a cool day. We got to have a lot of fun. Same thing, got done with the.
I mean, you work hard. Everybody there works hard, and even we were running around with cameras and stuff, but we were at it too. But those guys, they work from when they start, the time they set up to the time it ends.
Yeah.
They want those polishers running the entire time.
Yeah, and so we had a good talk that day. We got to sit down with Bob Phillips, PNS, and Keith Duplass, and and then we got to talk to Bob
Yeah, that was a good
Eichelberg
one.
of
I think we just got that
Flex,
one out.
which we just
Yeah.
released. So we got to spend the day kind of chatting with those guys, which was a lot of fun because most of the other times is either through emails or Bob and I sit on a committee together, and so whenever we have those committee meetings or something like that, that's when we get a chance to chat for half a second.
Right.
And Facebook, so it's nice to actually see him in
Yeah.
person, sit down and have a conversation and just catch up. And then that night we went downtown.
Yeah, we actually
And,
went down to the waterfront.
Yep, and went to Ivar's and fed some seagulls.
You
got
got to go to Ivers.
and then when we went for a quick walk, and I said I need to find some ice cream.
Oh man, and we wanted beers. So
Anthony and Dane
Yeah.
were like, we need to find some beer, and I was like, I wonder if we can find a place that sells ice cream and beer. And lo and behold,
It
It literally was exactly that.
You can find a place that sells ice cream.
you're just
and
walking
beer.
up the street a block, and then you look over, and there's a big sign that's like neon. It says ice cream, and next to it, beer on tap.
Yeah. So it worked out perfectly.
That's Seattle for you.
I got myself a giant waffle cone with 2 scoops, and they got
Oh,
themselves
yeah.
some beers, and we went and just found a table on the water and hung out and chatted and kind of took it easy. And then we went back on Sunday, or not Sunday. God dang, I'm sorry. Wednesday morning, we woke up again, nice and early, but this time we packed everything we could and put it in the car because we were planning on leaving about lunchtime, but we didn't. We ended up leaving about 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
But we had a heck of a time. We had so much fun. A lot of it was just being able to get more detox done, talk to more guys.
It was our first time doing like on-site detox.
Yeah.
We didn't do any fancy camera angles. You just set the camera
No,
up, get the
but
mics
that-
up, and go.
But that morning was awesome because we got to get up in front of the crowd, in front of the group that morning and just,
Yeah.
thank them and tell them, thanks for letting us be a part of the group and all that kind of stuff. And then I got to stand up and talk about it too, and it was a really fun experience for me. I followed it for 15 years. I followed it for the whole 15 years. And on the hottest, worst days of work, the days that I absolutely hated, 10 years ago before I started my own shop and I was working for somebody else, I would pull up Facebook and I would see, that project going on, and always thought like, man, I'd love to get over there and do that. But I never scrounged up enough money to ever accomplish that feat, even when Rennie lived here in Boise. I didn't know that was how you got into it. So it was a neat experience. So I made sure I relayed that to the guys that we were very appreciative of them allowing us to be, because again, just like the detailers, they handpick the companies that they want to work with. So you can't just tell them, hey, put me on the Air Force One project.
You can't just show up and like throw money at someone.
Yeah, hey, we got some
expect
towels.
it to
Here
work.
you go. They do their research and they pick the companies that they want to work with that will best suit them. And so to be chosen, the rag company to be chosen was pretty awesome. And so I just reiterated that to the group that, I love this project. I follow this project every year, and I'm blessed and humbled that I get to be a part of it. And even in that small form, I still hadn't touched a plane yet. But then,
Well, that morning.
Rennie basically, he gives out a challenge coin that has the presidential seal on one side, and then on the other side, it's got the Detail Mafia logo. He gives a coin every day to someone that he feels deserves that coin for the day, and he gets everybody rounded up and explains why. And he ended up giving me a coin that morning for that, and then said, I'm going to put you on some metal today. So needless to say, I was humbled and very choked up when he did that, and very appreciative. And it was an amazing experience for me in my career to be able to even be allowed to do that with them. Not being a full-fledged member of the group, but being allowed to touch that plane had some significance. And ipso facto, they let Anthony join in.
Man,
so,
just let anybody do it.
Yeah,
Jeez.
so apparently it took me years to be able to get that, and
Anthony just stumbles
standing
into it.
next to me.
Oh, shucks.
Well, they asked, they're like, do you guys know how to detail? And I mean, and Dane and Jeff both they both know, but they kind of back out and they push us forward.
I'm a car guy and a microfiber guy, but as far as actual hands-on detailing, I leave it up to these guys. These guys really know what they're doing.
But it was fun. So then Keith, set us up with some polishers and some detailer helper belts, and they threw us on engine number 4 of Air Force One, and we cleaned the nacelle, which is the chrome edge entry into the motor, or the engine, and then we actually cleaned the inner part of the motor.
And when he says that, what he really means is you climbed inside that thing.
Yeah, so you can check out our Facebook. There's pictures of Anthony and I taking turns getting in it. And we worked on that for probably about 4 hours. And
that wasn't just like a little
filmed
photo op. It was real.
Yeah, no, we worked on that. We got that part done because we weren't going to just go, well, we got a quarter of it done. We'll see you guys. Thanks for having us.
And they go,
we kind of were like,
these guys just left
we better
us.
get this done so that they don't feel like they didn't hand it the right thing. But it worked us.
Yeah, no, dude. It's kind of hard to put this into words. Basically, when we were there,
sit inside a hula hoop.
Yeah, when we were sitting there watching these people work and filming them and stuff like that. I mean, they made it look really easy. They made it look really fluent. I mean, they were really good at what they were doing, and so I didn't realize the amount of strain on your body that has when you're holding, a Flex 3401 above your head, okay, polishing something above your head, on a speed setting of 4 or 5, while that thing's ripping around, because that's the thing. I mean, there was a few times where I thought the machine was going to walk on me because, my arms were growing weak. I'm putting this thing above my head and polishing things that I really couldn't even see that well. But it just kind of, it
was metal, so we're polishing metal, so it's messy.
Yeah, it was just a new appreciation for really what they were doing. I mean, we were in there for a fraction of the time that they're spending on something
Yeah,
during a day.
They're there for 7 days.
Yeah,
Working on those planes.
And that was nothing compared to the main scheme of things. But yet, me and Levi were both looking at each other like, "Wow, that is some serious work." So, big respect out to those guys for allowing us to do that, but also just showing us how much work it is.
Yeah. So, and then we got to say goodbye after lunch, and loaded up the vehicles and headed back home to Boise. And that is a beautiful drive between Boise and Seattle because we go over 2 mountain ranges, the Cascades and the Blue Mountains. And so it's actually, I forgot how pretty of a drive that was.
It really is.
So it was an easy, nice drive. And then we made it home by, it was like 12 o'clock or so.
Yeah.
I made it to Jeff's house. And then I got in my car and drove another 30 minutes back to my house. So I walked in the door almost at 1 a.m. that morning on Tuesday or on Wednesday. So Thursday morning, 1 a.m. I made it home. You guys were probably about the same time.
Yeah, we were like right around 1 o'clock. So yeah.
So it was a late day, and then Thursday I took off. I just took the day off. I wasn't even going to come in because Friday morning I had to fly out to Orlando. So Friday morning at 3 a.m. I was up and called my Lyft at 4 to pick me up. And when I texted him, I thought, well, I'll wait. I need to be at the airport by 5 a.m. My flight was going to leave at about 5:45. And I thought, I'll just do this at 5. And then I woke up at 3:30, got all my bag, everything was ready downstairs. And I thought, I should probably just do it now. Just better safe than sorry. And I click on Lyft, and my driver's 37 minutes away.
Oh, man. Well,
so
in this town, Uber's a little more popular than Lyft.
Yeah.
Hopefully Lyft gets a little more popular.
So he called me and was like, I'm not really like 37 minutes away. And I said, okay, well, where are you? And it was showing on my map where he was in another town. And I was like, and he goes, yeah, I'm just right over here on this street at that exact spot where it was. And I was like, yep, okay. And he goes, I'll see you in like 20 minutes. He showed up 37 minutes on the nose, basically, when he was going to get there. So I was very thankful that I had done that. It was something in my head just said, you should probably just do it now. So I was glad I did, because if I had waited, I probably wouldn't have made my flight. So I got on my plane and had a great flight, easy flying, made it into Orlando because I got invited to Obsessed Garage, Matt Mormon's company. It's the YouTube channel, and then he's got a Facebook group. But he's actually created it. It's a real company selling towels and pressure washers, and he just announced that he's selling flooring. So Swiss Trax flooring is now available. He's a dealer.
So cool.
He's basically going through and picking all his favorites and becoming distributors of, and then putting it all under the umbrella Obsessed Garage. So really neat idea that Matt's doing. But basically he had created he had been talking about, it'd be fun to get everybody together, guys in the industry that he likes to work with, and guys that, and then, hobbyists that are very active on his page.
They got like a group, they got the YouTube channel, all that stuff. So
he picked the guys that, comment a lot or friends a lot, and I know exactly what he means, because we've got people that are very active on our detox page as well as on our YouTube. They're commenting.
We consider them regulars.
Yeah, and so he basically put out the invite to 20 regulars to come to his house and go to his garage and just work for the weekend. And we were just going to get together and work on his S2000 and his Ford Raptor.
It was originally just supposed to be the Raptor, wasn't it? And then he added the S2000 when it's like, wow, all these guys actually showed up.
So he put out 20 invites, and 16 of us RSVP'd. So I came from Idaho, and then he came from California, and so we were the farthest ones. And then some of the other guys came from Chicago and Pittsburgh, and so we came from all over Tennessee and Florida. It was a good group of guys. We all got over there, but basically we headed straight to dinner. I got in at about 5 o'clock in Orlando and picked up my rental car, which was an awesome Volvo V60.
Attaboy.
So if you ever want to know how to get a cool car, you rent from sixt.com, sixt.com. You can get some nice cars for a very cheap price. So I got that, so that made the drive fun, and then headed straight to the hotel, dropped off my bags, checked in, and then headed right over to the restaurant that was just down the street. But when I landed, I invited my buddy Brian Guy of AO Wheels. He's also the rep for SwissVax USA. And he saw that I was coming into town and wanted to go to dinner. And I said, well, I'm going to dinner over here. And he had brought up that they usually play pool with him and Corey Carruth, the car pro, play pool together on Friday nights. I said, well, funny enough, Corey's going to be at dinner, so why don't you join us? And so that was great to see him. He's a really close friend and a dear friend, and so it's good to get a chance to visit with him. And all the Obsessed guys, the garage guys, were excited to meet him as well. He was going to join it. He wanted to join us for the weekend too, but Matt had invited him, but he was headed to Georgia, so the next day with his family for vacation. So we missed him. But needless to say, we had dinner. We had it at a place called Square One Burgers, and a really neat, cool burger joint. A fancy restaurant, actually, but they sold fancy burgers, but really good prices. So it was great. And the whole night was just a lot of conversation, talking, just hanging out. And then went back to the hotel. Now, mind you, this is 2 hours ahead of what my time period is. So I'm a little exhausted because it's about 10 o'clock, 10 or 11 their time. And so it's about 9 p.m. my time. And I got up at 3 in the morning. So I wasn't doing so hot.
Yeah.
But they said, hey, everybody meet downstairs at 6:30. And I'm like, Boise time's 4:30 a.m.
Oof.
I better go to bed. So I called my wife, went to bed. Next day, we all headed over to to Matt's garage that he has that's separate. And I was the team leader for the S2000. So Jared Toops and Bradley Nielsen helped me on the S2000. And then everybody else jumped on the Raptor, and Corey was made the project leader for the Raptor. But we had probably about 15 different Rupes polishers there. We had yellow and white Rupes pads. We had Sonak's Perfect Finish. We had CarPro Essence. We had, I think, Menzerna P4000 there. Some Scan Grip lighting.
It's a good variety.
All
of
our towels that Matt carries, our Rag Company towels. And then he had prepped the cars and clayed and decontaminated them beforehand, so they were ready to go in the building with the AC on, which was really nice, because as a Northman, I don't do good in Florida weather. So we were able to get on the car, but man, Matt's S2000 had some soft black paint.
Yeah, you kept hearing that.
You breathe on it and it would scratch. It was crazy. So we were originally going to take the clear bra off, but because the paint was so soft, we decided against it, left the clear bra on. Matt is probably going to wrap the whole thing in PPF later this year, and then coat the PPF after that. But so what we ended up doing was just working on the car. We ended up utilizing. Apparently it had C-quartz originally on it, and so we had to remove the old C-quartz and then polish the paint as well. So it was a tiresome job for the three of us to get on that little car and try and get that all out. And the thing that worked the best was a yellow pad with some water and CarPro Essence to remove the C-quartz and fix all the damage, because we were trying all kinds of stuff, and that car it was marring so bad and so quickly, and it was just so
you
soft.
had to pull off the top, the hard top, and the wing to do some more stuff.
Yeah, we had to take all that off too. So, but yeah, we spent the most of the day literally just getting the car polished, and then we didn't have any tools, so we needed a socket set. So the next morning, Matt provided those so we could finish the deck lid and the spoiler and all that. and we did that the next, so that would have been Sunday morning. But Saturday night we got done. We got done about 3 o'clock, and we all headed back to the hotel because we were all staying in the same hotel. Showered, changed, and then Matt met us all for dinner right next door to the hotel. We went to a Japanese restaurant, and we all had dinner together again, but this time at a big table, and it was a blast. And I sat right across from Troy Sowers, and Troy and I got along splendidly. We had so much fun chatting.
That dude's funny.
Created a whole new friendship with him. And then afterwards, dinner, Matt said, well, let's go to my house and hang out. And so we piled in our rental cars, and I had Mike Figuera from California and Troy Sowers in my car. And we headed over to Matt's house and got to actually see where all the videos are made and all that kind of stuff. Went and hung out in his living room and stuff, and then the younger guys all wanted to watch a movie in Matt's theater, and the older guys, all of us sat in the living room and just kind of talked and swapped stories about being parents and being dads and work and all that kind of stuff. And then Matt's wife Michelle came down and hung out with us, and she kind of just talked to us and interviewed us also, and it was just a fun evening. And then when we were done, she was putting the kids to bed, so the four of us went to the theater and watched the movie with everybody else, and we watched Interstellar in Matt's theater.
That's a good one to watch.
Yeah, it was fun. And then again called my wife and said goodnight and all that stuff to my kids because it was midnight when we left Matt's house, so 10 p.m. Boise time for me. And then same thing, we're all going to be up at 6 a.m. Ready to go. And so again, I was very exhausted. But funny story, when I was pulling out of the driveway, Matt's got a very long driveway. And we had all lined up. So when it was my turn to go, I didn't realize that there was a basketball that had gotten stuck behind the wheel of the Volvo wagon I was driving. And I look out the window, or in my mirror, and I'm like, I feel like I'm on a curb, like I just wasn't going in reverse. And so Mike looked out the back door, he opened the door and looked behind the tire, and he's like, I don't see anything. And I got out, and I was like, I don't see anything either. And we're like, well, let's just go for it. And I thought maybe it was just a little ledge, and it just needed to give it a little gas. Well, I gave it a little gas, and a loud explosion happened. We ran over a basketball, and I've never driven over a basketball or had one pop before. So, needless to say, we were all giggling and hysterical because of that. And Matt joked that I owed him $4 for that basketball. So I did. I actually sent him a basketball when I got back.
He should have it by now.
He should have it today. I found out the tracking. It should be there today. So they're gonna open the box today, and he'll get that basketball back. And but yeah, it was fun. We had a lot of fun with that, and but they were great. They put us up, and there's 16 guys in Michelle's house, and she was totally cool hanging out and talking and just happy, and just great people to have around. Sunday morning, went back in, finished. Me and Bradley were the first ones there because I checked out and just headed straight over there because I wanted to get as much done as I could before everybody else did. Some of the guys were running late, so it was just Matt and Bradley and I, and we finished the deck lid and the bumper, and then finished a lot of the final polishing. I had Shane Wendell hold the light and walk around the car with me, and I had a polisher, and we just double checked every single panel to make sure it was right. And then by then it was almost noon, and I was out the door, and I had to catch a plane back to Boise. But they proceeded to coat the car. They went to lunch and then came back and coated the car and finished it. And you can check out those videos on the Obsessed Garage YouTube channel.
Obsessed Garage has them. I saw Brandon B has a couple
Brandon
episodes.
B has them because Brandon was there.
Yeah,
and then
Troy's
has
got
his
some good
videos
ones
too. So there's probably 10 or 12 videos of that weekend on YouTube.
And it's worth watching all of them because you get different perspectives and angles on how it all went down. Yeah. So that's really cool to see.
And Matt's a ninja when it comes to filming. when on his videos of me, I just seem to be working half the time.
I know. I watched it. I was like, Levi looks upset. He's not. He's never that upset.
No,
what's going on? It's
I was
like
in the
you're
zone,
focused.
Man.
You are.
I was working on some really difficult paint, and
flow, man.
And I was just going. So But it was good. Flight home was great, and I landed on time and everything, and was walking through my door at 11:30 p.m. Sunday night. And then I came into the office Monday morning about 9 a.m. and I brought my boy Augie with me, and he hung out for a couple hours, and then my wife picked him up, and then I took the rest of the week off. I worked till 5 on Monday, and then I basically took the rest of the week off. I came back in on Friday for a bit just to get some stuff done, but it was good. I've got little kids and they needed to hang out with me. But it was a crazy week, and it was one that we hopefully won't duplicate again. But
it was kind of 0 to 100 because we've never had that many events happen that close together.
With 2 people coming in to shoot Detox.
We're just now starting to come into being a company that goes places.
Right. And you think about all those days of you sitting in the
other companies take this for granted. Garage. They have like whole PR teams and people that reps that go out and stuff, and we got us, and we're like doing all this stuff. It's fun. It's exciting,
and it was
new.
Balancing our lives with our wives and our girlfriends, and Anthony's got 2 puppies at home, and you've got a dog and a brand new puppy.
Brand
new puppy. Yeah,
and it was like he'd only had him about a week, and then he's telling his girlfriend like, "Peace out, I got a new dog for There's about 7 days I'm going to be gone."
That's pretty much what happened.
Have fun taking that dog out 3 times a night.
Yeah,
he's still paying for that.
Yeah, I am.
So it was very thankful to our significant others for putting up with us, but our next trip shouldn't be till SEMA, and that's our hopefully our biggest and last trip this year. We'll be at SEMA.
If you're planning on going, say hi. We're gonna be.
We'll be in the Performance Pavilion next to BMW North America. So. Next to the BMW driving experience. So we're pretty excited about that because we're actually going to be near a landmark.
Yeah, we're going to be in a different spot than like a lot of the other detailing stuff.
Yeah,
so
it's our first year. We got to pay our dues.
So if you walk over there, don't expect to see us over there, except maybe like one of us is walking around or something.
And we'll be, we'll keep you guys abreast on our Facebook pages and stuff of everything that we're doing, what we're going to be doing at SEMA, and where we're walking around. If Anthony and Dane are cruising around videoing,
we'll do like live videos and stuff
in the North
too,
Hall or whatever. So we're going to keep you guys notified of everything. Plus, we'll have a surprise at SEMA, so you do need to come visit our booth.
It'll be worth it, promise.
And so we've had a ton of fun. It's been a crazy week, but basically this podcast is we just wanted to get peel back the curtain, so to speak, and let you guys in. Also allow you to listen to Detox, which is always a benefit.
So check out those classic episodes too.
Yeah, and then make sure you watch Wash Wednesday, especially the drift episode. That's like one of the funnest ones.
Oh man, we got to get to making more of those, but that is a time commitment when you make those episodes.
That is basically an actual television show.
We apologize to anyone who's like, I want more. It's like we'll get them out there, but it's probably going to be more of a once a month thing going forward because it is just. I did not sleep putting out those episodes. I was working the entire week and getting it out at the end of the week.
We need to hire more people to do Wash Wednesday. So we need to get some sponsors on for Wash Wednesday. So
call us. Okay.
No, but we're planning on keeping everybody updated week by week on what's kind of new, what's happening, because there's always so many things changing and going on here in the company. So we're going to try to get one of these out per week to give you guys an update. Also, just because we're able to talk about things and maybe say the things that we can't necessarily say over social media. Not that we were saying anything bad, but you just get to hear our personal thoughts on maybe towels or maybe what's going on in the detailing industry, things that we don't always put out there to the public. So you guys kind of get an insight directly from
this is going to be a much more personal thing because we know there's other podcasts out there that already cover the industry and they do some different stuff where they're talking to big names. We'll get people in here to talk to, of course, too, for detox episodes and stuff. But sometimes you want a personal perspective. You want a little, commentary, a little flavor to go along with that you may not get somewhere else because you're interested in a particular character. Well, Levi's a character. Anthony's a character. I talk too much, so
Dane's
we're all
a character.
Here. Yeah, well. So we want to give you that.
We want to, maybe what we'll do also is we'll get some of the, other employees of the rag company. John Green, our operations manager.
The elusive John.
You've seen him in the About video. But he's an awesome dude, and we can sit down
so
and do an
much.
interview with him because I don't know how to do his job. I know Dane doesn't know how to do his job.
Nobody but John knows how to do John's job.
He keeps this place running, and he runs a crew of, there's probably 7 or 8 employees downstairs that are his employees.
He's like a general down there.
Yeah,
He's
and
just,
he handles the warehouse and the all our Amazon packs and retail stuff, and
he dives in and does it too.
but
Like,
and he
when
has
there's no
numbers.
one else, he does it.
Yeah, and we can call him and go, hey, do we got any blue creatures, for example? And he can pull numbers off the top of his head and go, yeah, we've got 10,000 of them sitting in, or no, we've only got 128 left. Like, and you can do that with just about any towel. Now, mind you, we have 150 different types of towels, and he
Just
always knows
a
the
few.
stock of what we've got, or so he's worth his weight in gold to us because of that. So maybe we'll get him in and talk, or maybe we'll get Carolyn and Jeff in and have them do a little. We can just interview them again on how
They're
they
a little
started the
shy,
company,
but we'll
and,
get them to talk.
make it easy and fun, because I think people like to learn about that stuff. You know, Stacy, our web
She
web
does
girl and
so much
e-commerce
work
manager,
on the web.
she runs the web page and both pages and everything on the back end and our e-commerce site and all that stuff.
And
so,
if you're not subscribed to the email newsletter, please do
Dude,
that. Just
yeah.
go to our website, scroll down, enter your email. I promise we don't spam you. We send these
don't.
things out so infrequently that the only time you're going to get it is when it's something good, something you
Yep.
want.
Yeah, so make sure you do that. So subscribe to the newsletter, subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to
Yep.
this on iTunes, and make sure you rate and comment.
Yes, please. And if you want to follow Levi, say on Instagram,
It's just Leviticus Gates on Instagram. Or no, that's Rag Company Levi.
at Rag Company Levi.
Facebook
Yep.
is Leviticus Gates, my personal Facebook. But Rag Company, the Rag Company Levi is my Instagram handle.
Yep. And Anthony.
You can follow me if you want to follow my personal account. You can follow me. It's all day Anthony. Then there's an underscore because some other guy beat me to the name, so I had to add the underscore at the end. But it's just a bunch of pictures of my cars and motorcycles and things like that.
And
so
him lifting weights.
and me lifting weights, things like
Show
that.
off.
So yeah.
And then Dane is
I'm Great Dane Films on Instagram. So at a Great Dane Films.
spelled out GR8
Yes.
Dane Films.
Yep.
And
And these are our personal accounts. So if that's like you like us for some reason.
Yeah,
You want
you know,
to
see what we're doing in our day-to-day stuff. So thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And stay tuned for more right here, the Rag Company Podcast.